Hello, friend. Welcome back to our Timeless Wisdom channel. Today, we'd like to invite you on a quiet journey, not through a park or down a familiar street, but inward. A gentle, thoughtful walk into the parts of ourselves we often keep tucked away. Today, we're going to talk about 5 deeply personal things that you don't have to share with just anyone. Let us be clear. This isn't about hiding or being closed off in a negative way. It's about understanding that not everything in life needs to be public, explained, or posted online. Some experiences, some emotions are sacred and valuable and should only be entrusted to those who've truly earned your trust. As we grow older, many of us begin to realize something profound. Peace doesn't always come from saying everything. Sometimes, peace comes from protecting what's still tender, what's still healing. Because when you open up to someone who doesn't truly understand your story, who doesn't see your worth, it can stir up pain that's taken years to quiet. So let's slow down for a moment. Take a deep breath and begin with the first thing you never need to feel obligated to share. By the way, if this is your first time here, welcome to our community. And if you've been with us before, we'd love to hear from you. Just type the number 1 in the comments. It's our way of saying, still walking this path together. Because often, the truths that shape us most are the quiet ones we carry alone. Let's talk about regrets. We all have them. Moments we wish we could undo. Choices we'd change in a heartbeat. Maybe it was a job you turned down and you still wonder what if. Maybe it was a friend you never reached out to. Maybe it was something you said and wish you could take back. Regret is part of being human. But here's the thing, when we talk about our regrets with people who haven't earned our trust, it doesn't always lighten the load. Sometimes it just adds to it, because regrets are fragile. They're tied to moments when we felt unsure, overwhelmed, maybe even ashamed. And when we share them with people who don't really know our heart, they might see us through a distorted lens, one that focuses more on what we did wrong than who we've become since then. Think about this. Every time we bring up a painful memory, our brain responds like it's happening again. That's not just emotional, it's biological. The part of the brain called the amygdala lights up. Your heartbeat changes, your breathing gets shallow, your body remembers. This is widely supported by neuroscience research into trauma and memory. So when we keep reliving those memories by speaking them aloud, especially with people who don't support us, it doesn't help us let go. It just keeps us stuck in the moment. So what can we do instead? We can take the lesson from the past and leave the burden behind. Write about it in a private journal. Talk to someone you trust deeply, someone who listens without judgment. Or maybe, just maybe, we can hold it gently in silence, like a chapter we've closed but learned from. Because regret, when reflected on with compassion, becomes a quiet teacher. It reminds us of who we were and who we no longer have to be. What you have now is not the product of a perfect past. It's the result of your growth right here, in the present. And those past moments, even the painful ones, shaped your strength, your wisdom, and your ability to live more fully today. So instead of staying in regret, try this. Look back with curiosity. Ask yourself, what did I learn? And then look forward with courage. How can I use that lesson to shape a better future? And when the time feels right, share what you've learned. Someone out there may be standing where you once stood, uncertain, afraid, about to make a choice. Your story could be the light that helps them choose a better way. Because that's the beauty of growth. What once weighed us down can become something that lifts others up. Now, this one's tough because it often lives deeper than we realize. Resentment. Maybe you've felt it too, toward that coworker who took credit for your idea, a family member who always finds something to criticize, a friend who disappeared just when you needed them most. It's human to feel hurt, to feel angry, to replay what they said or didn't say, and sometimes it feels good to vent, to finally say, "Can you believe what they did to me?" But here's something I've learned, and maybe you've seen it too. Sharing your resentment doesn't always release it. Sometimes it just feeds it. Every time we tell the story, especially when we're still hurt, we're not just remembering it, we're reliving it. We're pulling others into the wound, hoping they'll validate us. And often, they do. But what happens next? The pain lingers. The bitterness grows. And what started as a story about someone else becomes a weight we carry ourselves. Here's a gentle truth. Holding resentment doesn't punish the person who hurt you, it punishes you. That doesn't mean what they did was okay. It doesn't mean you have to forget. But it does mean you can choose not to carry that pain into your future. So what can you do instead? Set boundaries. Speak your truth with kindness. If the relationship is worth saving, be honest. If it's not, let distance be your peace. And after that, let it go. Not for them, for you. Pray. Journal. Talk to someone who knows how to hold your story with care, not to gossip, but to help you release it. Because resentment, when shared without thought, can spread like wildfire. And you deserve better than that. You deserve calm. You deserve clarity. You deserve to move forward free. Here's something that might take you by surprise. Your dreams. That quiet little idea you've been carrying in your heart. The adventure you keep imagining. That soft someday whisper that still lights something up inside you. When inspiration hits, it's only natural to want to share it. We want someone to cheer us on. We want to say, hey, we're thinking of doing this. Or next year, we're finally going to make it happen. But here's what we've learned, and maybe you've felt it too. Not everyone will meet our dreams with kindness. Even the most well-meaning people can say things that quietly dim our light before our dream ever gets the chance to grow. They might chuckle, or doubt, or say something like, "You're going to try that now?" When we first started this channel, we told almost no one. Not because we were hiding it, but because we knew how delicate a new dream can be. We wanted it to root itself, to grow quietly and steadily before anyone else's fears or opinions could crush it. And honestly, that changed everything. So here's what we offer you. Treat your dream like a seed. Protect it, water it, give it time to grow roots before you introduce it to the world. When it's ready, when you're ready, you can share it. And by that point, it'll have enough momentum to keep going, no matter what anyone says. Because your dream is sacred, and not everyone is meant to hold it. So dream boldly, move gently, and let your growth speak for itself. And finally, one of the most misunderstood and honestly most sensitive topics of all, our finances. We live in a world where money carries different meanings for different people. And often, it's not really about the numbers, it's about what people assume those numbers mean. Maybe you received an inheritance. Maybe you sold your home at the right time. Or, after years of careful saving, you've finally reached a place of comfort. That's something to be proud of, truly. But here's what often happens. The moment we mention it, especially to acquaintances or distant relatives, we stop being just us. We become the one with the lake house, or the one who's doing well, or worse, the one we can ask. And suddenly, expectations start to creep in. People begin hinting, asking for little favors, making quiet assumptions. Not because they're being cruel. Most of the time, they don't even realize they're doing it, but it still happens. We've seen this play out so many times with kind, generous people. People who love to help, who give freely, who don't want to seem guarded. But here's a gentle truth we've learned. Generosity is beautiful. Generosity is strength. But that doesn't mean we have to give everything away, including our privacy. So what can we do? We share financial details only with those who truly need to know: our spouse, a trusted financial advisor, maybe our adult children. Beyond that, we don't owe anyone updates about our savings. Not the neighbor, not the friend from the gym, not even that person who suddenly wants to reconnect after years. Because when we protect our financial privacy, we're not being secretive, we're being wise. And when we protect our peace, we create space to enjoy the life we've worked so hard to build. But here's something worth thinking about too. What if we gave our money a mission? Not just to save, not just to protect, but to serve. That might mean setting aside a portion to travel with your partner, finally taking that trip you always talked about. It might mean helping your grandchildren go to college, or paying for music lessons that let them express who they are. Maybe it's investing in your health, better nutrition, regular massages, or a comfortable chair that supports your body. It might even mean giving with intention to a shelter in your town, a local food bank, or a cause you deeply believe in. Whatever it is, write it down. Get specific. When your money has a plan, it becomes more than just numbers. It becomes an extension of your values, a quiet legacy, a source of strength. Because money, used thoughtfully, can be a gentle force for good, not just for you, but for the ones you love and the world around you. Now, maybe you're wondering, isn't it a good thing to be open, to share, to let people in? And yes, it absolutely can be. There's beauty in vulnerability. Real connection comes when we let our walls down and allow others to see us not just the polished parts, but the real ones. But just like a garden, your inner world deserves care. Not everyone gets to walk through it. Not everyone needs access to every thought, every memory, every chapter of your story. And that's not about being cold or closed off. It's about being discerning. There's a quiet strength in knowing when to share and when to hold something gently in your heart. Because some things are sacred. They're yours. They've shaped who you are in ways that don't need explaining. So the next time you feel guilty for not opening up or pressured to explain something deeply personal, pause. Remind yourself, boundaries aren't walls. They're gates. You decide when they open and who gets invited in. You're not here to prove yourself to everyone. You're here to live honestly, wisely, and with intention. Let's take one more deep breath and gently revisit what we've explored today. 5 things you never have to overshare with just anyone. Regrets. Let the past be your teacher, not your identity. Pain. You don't need to bleed in public to be understood. Resentments. Venting might feel good, but letting go feels lighter. Future plans. Protect your dreams until they're strong enough to stand. Finances. Keep your peace by keeping some things private. This isn't about secrecy, it's about dignity, discernment, and knowing that your story belongs to you first. And just to be clear, there are things worth sharing. Freely, boldly, often. Your love, a kind word, a warm hug, a moment of eye contact that says, "I see you." Your kindness, helping someone across the street, checking in on a friend, leaving the last cookie for someone else. Your laughter. Life is serious enough. Share your silliness. Laugh with someone until your sides hurt. Your wisdom. You've walked roads others are just now stepping onto. Your experiences are a gift. Your stories, the ones that make people laugh or think or remember who they are. Your memories, the precious snapshots of a life fully lived. Don't let them stay tucked away. Let them shine. These are the parts of you that lift others. And when you give from that place, it never leaves you empty. So if you've ever felt judged for staying quiet, let that judgment pass. If you've ever felt guilty for choosing peace over explanation, release that guilt. Right now, you're here, you're breathing, you're listening, and that's enough. You don't need to carry the past into this moment. You don't need to hold on to stories that no longer serve who you're becoming. So be here, in this breath, in this space. Notice what you feel, what you hear, what you see, and gently choose to let go, not to forget, but to make room. Room for lightness, for clarity, for seeing the other person not through the old story, but through a lens of compassion. You deserve to live fully in the present, to feel joy again, to see with new eyes, and to move forward not in fear, but in quiet freedom. So if you've ever felt judged for staying quiet, let that judgment pass. If you've ever felt guilty for choosing peace over explanation, release that guilt. Right now you're here, you're breathing, you're listening, and that's enough. You don't need to carry the past into this moment. You don't need to hold on to stories that no longer serve who you're becoming. So be here, in this breath, in this space. Notice what you feel, what you hear, what you see, and gently choose to let go, not to forget, but to make room. Room for lightness, for clarity, for seeing the other person not through the old story, but through a lens of compassion. You deserve to live fully in the present, to feel joy again, to see with new eyes, and to move forward not in fear, but in quiet freedom. If today's message resonated with you, if it reminded you of your own strength, or helped lift a quiet weight, let us know in the comments. Which of the 5 spoke to you the most? And if you'd like to explore more like this, there's a companion video linked right here called 7 Amazing Qualities of Older People Who Like to Be Alone. It's a quiet celebration of your rhythm, your depth, and your peaceful power. Thank you for being here and for showing up with an open heart. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love. And never forget, you're not alone on this journey. Not now. Not ever. We'll see you again soon.